welcome you to Friday Morning Freestyle. I'm Mary Ju, and this is Johnny. Over there, that other guy, the brown guy, is Bear, and they are the Zen Dogs, and we come to you every Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern here on the Mary Ju Yoga Facebook Live for Friday Morning Freestyle, and that is our weekly class. We've actually been on break for a couple of weeks, so we're back. Glad to be back, and this Friday Morning Freestyle, you never know exactly what it's going to be, but it will always include a little bit of meditation, a little bit of mantra, and a little bit of movement. So let's go ahead and get started with our Friday Morning Freestyle, number 9. So take a moment to drop into your body. I'm sitting on a pillow, which is kind of comfortable and kind of nice, so I'm going to roll with that. And take a moment wherever you are sitting, whether you're on a chair or on the ground. Find your right and left sitting bones, those bones that are right beneath you, those bones that are connecting with the earth, and allow them to dig into the earth, connecting you with Pachamama, with Mother Earth, as you close your eyes. Lengthen the spine from the base of the spine up through the crown of the head. Allow the eyes to roll up to the third eye point between your brows. Allow the hands to rest, palms down on the knees. If you're sitting in a chair, make sure you connect your feet with the earth. And then imagine sending down roots from your sitting bones deep into the earth. Energetic roots connecting you with Mother Earth, going down deep, deep, deep into the earth, all the way to where they wrap around the core of the earth. And as they travel downward, they spread out in all 4 directions. Send a root to the east, to the south, to the west, and to the north. And let them grip the core of the earth. Take a deep inhale. As you inhale, draw the breath down deep into your belly. Let your belly expand. Let the ribs expand. Let the chest lift and expand, filling up the lungs, opening up the heart, reaching up through the crown of the head. Long spine, long neck. Deep breath in. Drop the shoulders. Pause with the breath held in here at the top. Scoop in a little more air if you can. Little sips. And then slowly exhale, but keep the length in the spine. Keep reaching up through the crown of the head. As you exhale, following the breath, vertebrae by vertebrae, back down the spine. Send it back to the earth. Down through the roots. And then take a deep breath in, drawing the energy up through your roots. Send it spiraling, slowly wrapping around the spine, traveling up the spine, traveling up the neck, out the crown of the head, connecting the earth with the sky. Be that conduit, that hollow bone, that clear channel. Exhale, and as you exhale, let something go. One more time, deep breath in. Keep expanding, 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 filling up with air. And exhale. Turn the palms up on the knees in a gesture of receptivity. Take a moment to pause here and just notice how you feel. Feel yourself grounded. Feel yourself balanced. Feel yourself centered. And then bring the left palm to the heart center. Place the right palm over the top. Press into the heart. Take another deep breath in. This time, bring the breath into the heart. Deep breath into the heart. Let it expand and let it open up. And as you exhale, send out gratitude from the heart. Coming out from the heart all around you. Exhale fully. Draw the navel in. Deep inhale, drawing light from above into the heart. Fill it up, fill yourself up with light. And as you exhale, this time send out compassion all around you. Compassion. One more deep breath into the heart. Fill up with a little more light, a little more light. And this time as you exhale, send out love all around you. Fill up your aura, fill up your field with love and let it travel beyond. And let it go out in all directions, all around you to wherever it is needed. May the love find those who need it. Let's tune in together. We're just going to keep the tune in simple today. So for today, we're just going to tune in with one long Om. So take a deep breath in, inhaling to Om. And on your exhale, Om. Om is the primordial sound of the universe. It's the sound of creation. It's the sound that contains all of the sounds. And on this Om, we add Shanti, 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 peace, 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 and connect our circle to everyone who might be joining from around the world. Thank you for being here. And let's just spend the next little bit here together in this heart space. So there's a message coming up on the phone. And I'm sorry to do this, but I just want to make sure everything's okay and it's still rolling. Okay, not now, sorry. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and start out with getting our bodies moving. I think we could use a little movement. There's Bear. Hi, Bear. Say hi, Bear. All right, so from that comfortable seat, it's preferable to be in easy pose if you can. Easy pose, a comfortable cross-legged seat. We're just going to begin with the Ganesha mantra sequence. And if you'd like to chant along with the mantra, it's the mantra for Ganesha. It's Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, or you can just move and breathe. You don't have to chant. Just being in the vibration of the chant, you'll get the benefits. But just as a reminder, Ganesha, this Ganesha mantra, is to remove the obstacles. Ganesha is our friend, the elephant-headed deity in Hindu wisdom, and Ganesha removes the obstacles, clears the path. So let's go ahead and light the candle. And the container of our class, of our circle, is now open. A little spray of release, some sage spray to clear the air. And we'll begin by getting our bodies moving. So let me just pull up the tunes. All right, so we're gonna just follow me. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, up overhead, reach through the fingertips, exhale down the center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time exhale the arm out to the sides, bend at the elbows, fingers to the front of the shoulder caps, thumbs to the back. Let's begin. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. And just begin moving, twisting to the waist. Keeping the arms coming out at heart level, perpendicular, or actually parallel to the earth. And just take it slowly, taking time to warm up the spine. Inhale up, exhale right. Rooting down through the sitting bones, up through the crown of the head. Head and chin in line with the body. body moving as you twist. Keep lifting the elbows, bring them straight out from the heart. Opening the heart. With every breath, breathe deeply, and if you want to, go ahead and chant, removing the obstacles with Ganesha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Give it a try. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Come back to center, take a deep breath in, elbows out to the sides, bring the arms up like cactus, and let's continue. So keep them at that nice 90-degree angle, spreading the fingers wide, inhale left, exhale right, or chant along with the mantra. Visualize these obstacles falling away. Call upon our friend Ganesha to clear the path. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 You keep your eyes open if you need to see how to do something, but once you're comfortable, close your eyes and roll them up to the third eye point. Allow yourself to go deep. Allow yourself to go inside. Keep the chanting. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Keep it going. Last round of this one. If you're feeling the tension in your arms, see if you can breathe into that tension. Hold it a little bit longer. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Back to center, sit tall, deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands to the shins and the ankles and begin to flex the spine forward and back. Take it slowly to begin. Arching forward, rounding back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Deep breath. Keeping the shoulders in line with the hips. You're just flexing the spine forward, rounding it back. Once you feel warm, you can take it a little faster or just stay at that slower pace. If that's what feels good to you, go ahead and close the eyes, roll them up, and let's come back to the chant. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 By chanting as we're moving, we're strengthening this beautiful trinity of the third chakra, the navel, the seat of your strength, your confidence, your power. Connecting with the heart chakra, the fourth chakra, your love, your intuition. Connecting with the fifth chakra, the throat, your projection, your truth. So feel those three chakras connecting as this mantra moves through you. Accesses the sound current. Take a deep breath in, sit nice and tall. As you exhale, bring all 5 fingers together on each hand like knife hands. Last piece, just begin to chop. all around you, in front of the heart. Chopping, releasing any obstacles, any negative energy or incongruent energy that might be in your field, hanging out, that isn't yours. Let it go. Chop, chop, chop. All around, to the front, to the sides, to the top, to the bottom, behind you. Make sure you get it all the way around. Close your eyes and just intuitively chop, chop, chop. Wherever you feel like you need to clear something, wherever there's stuck energy, let it go. Keep chopping and chant. We're almost at the end. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Take a deep breath in. Swing the arms out to the sides and up through your arm. Reach through the fingertips. Drop the shoulders. Look up. Pull in the light. Exhale. Palms down the center line to the heart. Pause here, drop the chin to the chest as the head bows to the heart, releasing your breath, drawing the navel in. And then take a deep breath in, bring the chin back level, press the palms together firmly, inhale deeply. And as you exhale, sweep the arms out in front of you and around. Just feel the energy around you now. Feel the aura clearing out, releasing any energy that is not yours, anything that's hanging out in your field. Allow it to move through. This is a wonderful one to do when you're facing fear. And in today's episode of the Shamanic Life, which we'll get to in just a bit, we're going to talk a little more too about releasing fears. So stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and keep the body moving though. We're getting into a momentum here. So our next mantra is Sat Narayan. You might remember this one as well. I'm going to take the pillow out and go closer to the ground. Kind of reconnect my sitting bones with the earth. Now it feels like I'm really down deep on the earth. Sat Narayan, Wahe Guru, Hari Narayan, Satanam. This is the mantra. Sat Narayan is the creative sustainer and the great sustainer, the true sustainer. True sustainer is often associated with the water element, and I always think of the water element when I think of this mantra, Sat Narayan. It's a mantra for inner peace, and so that obviously correlates nicely with the water element. When you think of the water element, you think of peace. Water can move, water can be still, but water is always fluid, and it moves fluidly and gracefully through even difficult situations. So let's tap into the water element with this next warm-up and continue to move the spine. So keep palms down on the knees for this one. You're seated in a comfortable seat and easy pose, and we're just going to begin with a Sufi grind. So you're going to push off to the right. You're going to draw the heart over the left knee and forward, over the right knee, and round back. So inhale, arch forward, exhale, round back. So this is very similar to the spinal flex that we were just doing when we were arching forward and rounding back, but you're kind of adding a three-dimensional element to it, rotating 360 degrees. So we're going to start moving clockwise, and then we'll switch, and then we'll move counterclockwise, and then we'll go from there. So Sat Narayan, Wahe Guru, Hari Narayan, Satanam if you want to chant. Otherwise, I'll direct you on the breath. Just do what feels best to you. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let something go, and let's begin. Push off, move, and breathe. So inhale forward, exhale back. Just inhale and exhale. Let the heart lead the way. Close the eyes, roll them up. Use the hands on the knees as leverage. Really want to get the movement in the spine, so you're lengthening as you're stretching the spine from earth to sky. And you're using the sitting bones as your anchors. Move you around. Inhale forward on the arch. Exhale, round it back. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satanam. 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 Come back to center, sit nice and tall, take a deep breath in. Reconnect with those sitting bones every time you come back to center. Exhale, and let's go in the opposite direction. Inhale forward, exhale back, moving counterclockwise. Inhale forward, exhale back. Every move, with every breath, deep stretch in spine, from earth to sky. Creating space between the vertebrae, in the spine and the neck, and then breathing into that space. Keep it going. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satanam. 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 Back to center, sit nice and tall, deep breath in. As you exhale, take the left leg out to the side, sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Turn to face the leg. Inhale the left arm up. Reach forward, grab the shin, the ankles, or the toes. Take the right hand over the top. Coming down over that leg, bringing the chest over the thigh, and then inhale, sweep the arm open. Exhale, reach forward and fold. Take it slowly, taking time to open the back of the leg. With all this staying home, the backs of the legs might be a little tight right now. Take your time to warm it up, open it up. Inhale up, exhale back down. Breathing deeply, painting an arc of light above your body. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satanam. 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 Inhale the right arm straight up overhead, reach, deep breath in. Exhale, float the arm down, bring the left leg in, right leg out. Turn to face the right leg, flexing the toes back towards your face. Inhale the right arm up, take it down to the shins, the ankles to the toes. The left hand comes over the top, chest lined up over the top of the thighs. So you're coming straight over the leg. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Again, take it slowly. The back of this leg might be tight as well. Take your time to stretch it out. This might just be the beginning of more stretching that you do later in the day if you're so inspired. We need to stretch right now. Move and breathe. Let those muscles keep moving. The energy. Hari Narayan Satanam. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satanam. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satanam. Sat Narayan Waheguru Hari Narayan Satanam. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Last round. going, keep moving, keep breathing, keep chanting from the heart.
Narayan, Wahai Guru Hari, Narayan, Satanam, Sat, Narayan, Wahai Guru Hari, Narayan, Satanam, Sat, Narayan, Wahai Guru Hari, Narayan, Satanam, Sat, Narayan, Wahai Guru Hari, Narayan, Satanam.
Now inhale, the left arm straight up overhead. Hold the posture, deep breath in, reach. Exhale, float it back down. Bring the right leg in.
Narayan, Wahai.
And let's go this last couple rounds with the celestial communication for Sat Narayan. Sat Narayan, Wahai Guru Hari, Narayan, Satanam. Sat Narayan, Wahai Guru Hari, Narayan, Satanam. Sat Narayan, Wahai Guru Hari, Narayan, Satanam. Take a deep breath into the heart. Exhale, let something go. Take another deep breath in and feel your heart filled with inner peace. Feel the peace traveling all around you. Filling up your field, filling up your aura with a calm and a gentleness. Inhale and exhale. Turn the palms up on the knees and just say to yourself, I am open to receive. Keeping the eyes closed and rolled up. Take a couple deep breaths on your own right here and just listen. Just be open to receive. Being open to receive. And I just wanted to share that when we do these movements, these exercises, and we add the chanting, there are a lot of great benefits of adding that chanting. No obligation whatsoever. If you just want to move and breathe and listen to the chant in the background, that's totally fine. But if you actually do the chanting, you're adding a whole other layer of fitness and wellness to the process, because as you're moving and as you're breathing, you're also, with chanting, you're really moving the navel a lot. You're moving the air. It's about the sound current and what comes out, and the bhakti, the devotion in your heart, and what comes out when you're chanting. But you're also, moving a lot of air around and creating a lot of space, and you're strengthening your core. So a lot of great benefits if you decide you do want to chant along as we move. And so I wanted to do one more exercise and keep the energy moving, and then we'll sit down and we'll have the Shamanic Life talk. So let's go ahead and stand for this one. Standing up. Go ahead and stand up and bring your feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Lift and spread the toes, get a solid foundation, and we're going to begin to punch to the left and to the right. So punch left, to right, to left, to right, and then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Knees are slightly bent. You want to keep the knees bent. Keep your flexibility, don't lock out the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, palms down to the heart center. And let's do it again. Left, right, and right. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, right, and forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, palms down the center line. Let's keep it going. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, and forward. 1, down the center line and out to the sides. Inhale here. Exhale, twist and take the right hand down to the left foot. Inhale, back up. Take the left hand down to the right foot. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Moving and breathing. So as you come down over the leg, line up the chest over the top of the thigh. Let the arm above you come straight up overhead. Coordinate the movement and the breath. Inhale up. Exhale, twist and fold. And begin to chant the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, the mantra for universal consciousness. Inhale up. And exhale down. So it's Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Let's go. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Keep it going, keep breathing. You can see that the chanting adds a whole other layer to the breath work. So just move at your own pace, listen to your body, do what you can. Let's see if you can do it. Doesn't matter if you're pitch perfect, it's all about chanting from the heart. Inhale deeply, stretch the arms out wide, and then begin to take the left elbow to right elbow to left knee, left elbow to right knee. Alternating back and forth. Bring the knee up to at least your waist level. Bring the knee up to meet the elbow rather than hunching over to meet the knee. You want to be nice, long, straight spine. So you're bringing the knees up nice and high, kind of marching in place. And add the mantra. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Keep it going, keep breathing. Move this out of the way. Good. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, last round. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Take a deep breath in. Woo! Exhale, last round, our last exercise of this set. Turn the toes out. Bring the heels together so the feet are in the shape of a V. And then you're going to come down with the fingertips just beneath the shoulder blades. Let me back up so you can see. So the heels are together, the feet are in a V, the knees are bent. Fingertips beneath the shoulders. Spine is ours. Look up, deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, come up on the balls of the feet, drop the head toward the legs. Exhale here. Keep the heels together. So inhale here. Exhale, push up. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Now keep the heels together. Stay on the balls of the feet the whole time so the heels are off the ground and touching. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. bend the knees. You just hang over the legs with the knees bent. Take a deep breath in. And exhale through the mouth. Let something go. One more time. Inhale deeply. And exhale. And let something go. Hanging over the legs with the knees bent. And then take a deep breath in. This time as you exhale, very slowly roll up. Knees stay bent, head stays down. One vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Lift the shoulders and roll them back. Shake it out a little bit. Shake it above. Shake it to the left. Shake it to the right. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Woo! All right. So that is the way we move the energy around here. And hopefully you're kind of feeling it now. Feeling a little more alive. So that very short set of about 21 minutes with Ganesha Set, Narayan, and Om Namah Shivaya. It's a 21 minute, they're about 7 minutes each. So that's a 20-minute, pretty much full body movement that you can get going in the morning. And so if you want to revisit this, maybe I'll post a clip of just those three together, and you'll have that as a, when you need a little extra boost in the morning to get the energy moving. And it helps you too, I find, with the chanting, along with strengthening the navel, which is a huge plus for me and all of us, I think, with summer coming up. You're also strengthening your voice and kind of your resolve, so it has kind of a philosophical, psychological aspect to it as well. So, all good things. Okay, so now we come to the portion of the class that I like to call the Shamanic Life. And we talk about shamanism, a little bit of modern shamanism. Shamanism being the path of the heart. The shaman is the one who follows the heart. The shamans have traditionally been, for thousands, tens of thousands of years, have been the healers, have been the community leaders, have been the advisors, the confidants in their communities. And I personally have adopted the path of the shamanic life in my own life, and that's why I want to share this with you, is because it's been such a positive influence on my life. And the main tenets of the shamanic path, the thing that probably resonates with me the most out of all of it, is the idea of reconnecting with nature and the idea of being in connection with the elements of earth, water, fire, and air. Being in connection with the trees. I'm looking out the window. I wish you could see the woods, but I've got 5 acres of woods here and a ton of trees with the rocks, the stones, the animals. All the spirits around us are viewed as allies, and there are all kinds of energies around us that we work with that we can call in allies. So for today's shamanic life, I wanted to talk about this idea came to me a couple weeks ago, actually, before the break. Walking the talk. So today, the shamanic life, walking the talk. So what is walking the talk? You can probably kind of figure it out from the sound of it. It's the idea of letting your actions match your words. And I think it's a little bit tricky right now, given the fact that most of us still locked down and quarantined. How can we put that into play right now? Which, there's not, maybe if you're quarantined on your own, you may not have a lot of opportunity to do that, but you can think about, I think right now is such a great time to go into the essence of ourselves and explore on the inside, our inner world, while we're kind of shut down from the outer world, and we have this opportunity, this beautiful space that's been created for us, a space of retreat. It allows us to go in and look at who we are, why we're here, and what we're feeling, what we're dealing with on an emotional level. And really tap into the call of the wisdom of the body, the call of the heart, the learning to recognize the sound of our own intuition, giving us a nudge, tapping us on the shoulder. Hey, listen to this. What if you did it a little bit differently this time? And now is our time. We kind of have this blank slate, clean slate, that anything is possible. And so, given that, can we find our authenticity? Can we find our true essence? Can we walk the talk? Can our actions match our words? And to do that, we have to kind of first break down where we're at, who we are, and maybe do a little bit of weeding out. It's kind of like this time is the springtime. It's the time for creating the garden. And to do that, create the garden, create the beds, you have to do the weeding first. And so, like that gardening with ourselves, can we take the opportunity of this springtime, perfect timing, and the spring also correlates to the direction of the east, and the east is the direction of new beginnings. The east is the void. And what is the void? That sounds ominous. Well, the void, it's really not so scary at all. It's just what it sounds like. It's this big open space, empty space, this void in which all things begin, and in which we have the opportunity to create anything we can dream up. And so let's work with the springtime, the new beginnings. Let's work with the void, the new beginnings. And let's think about, okay, so we've got this opportunity, we've got this space, we can tap into our essence, our authenticity. Who are we? What are we about? Why are we here? And as we explore that, what's standing in our way? And again, we can call our friend Ganesha in for this one. Removing the obstacles. What is it we want to release in order to make space for the new beginnings, and in order for us to align to that space of the void and create whatever it is that we want to create? So the biggest challenge, I think, to creating in the void and to this time right now, when we have all this opportunity, if we can look at it that way, we've got this opportunity to create our dream life out of this, what might feel like lockdown, what might feel like oppression, what might feel like prison at times, or being grounded. Can we take being grounded and make it a positive thing and be grounded in our foundation and be removing our obstacles while we have the opportunity, while everything is slowed down a little bit? Can we get rid of any incongruent energy that is not us, that is not authentic, that is not part of our essence? Can we allow that to be removed? They call that hucha, that incongruent energy. Can we release that through things like movement and chanting and mantra and going outside for a walk, hiking in the woods, gardening? All these things that have sort of a Zen feel to them allow you to process emotions and to release anything you don't need, to release that incongruent energy, because they get the energy moving. And that's the way we release any incongruent energy, is we come out of that place of being stuck. When the incongruent energy is stuck, that's how it forms. But if we can move the energy again, we can release those blocks, we can release that stuck energy, and we can manifest anything we can imagine. So think about this. We've talked about it before. We've talked about dreaming big. So Here's a question. What does your dream life look like? Just keep it simple. Your dream life, anything is possible. So maybe take a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just kind of put it out in your field. The idea of magnetizing your heart and that heart space energy, that magnetic field around the heart, magnetize that to call in your dream life. And it's entirely possible to do that. So what you want to do when you're sending out that message through your heart, because the heart is a powerful communicator, it's a powerful magnet. It'll draw to you whatever you are calling in. And sometimes we don't realize when bad things or lessons or challenging things come in, sometimes those are lessons that we need to learn that we're actually calling in because we need to learn the lesson. But if we could just focus on the dream life, the life of our dreams, on the other side of this whole thing, or we're already in it right now, so let's just start right now and not even think about going beyond COVID. Right here, right now, what is our dream life? What does that look like? Start getting clear on your intentions. We're about a little less than a week away from a new moon. We have a new moon in Gemini coming next week on Friday the 22nd. Oh, we're a week away. Yeah. And it's right about this time. It's in the middle of the afternoon, or the early afternoon. And so with this new moon, we've got the springtime, we've got the east, the direction, and we've got the new moon coming in 1 week. All of those hugely powerful times to plant seeds, to plant new intentions. And as we're calling in our dream life, let's start to imagine what it looks like so that we know that we're sending out the right signal, the right magnet, and that we're calling in what we really wanted. So think about that. You don't have to decide it all right now. That's a big one. So you can work on that in the next week before we meet again. But just think about that, and think about one of the biggest blocks. I think I was getting to this a moment ago. One of the biggest blocks to creativity, to manifestation, to these new beginnings, this dream life. We've laid the foundation, we've removed the obstacles, we've cleared the path, and yet the one obstacle that might be one of the toughest ones to remove, especially right now, is fear. Fear can come up and it can stop you in your tracks, and sometimes you don't even realize it. I know I had a challenging day myself yesterday, and I went out for the first time and went to the store, and it felt weird, and it felt just kind of different being out and around. And change can be challenging. Change can definitely trigger our fears inside, and that's okay. As long as we are observant, and as long as we are able to self-observe, self-observation, huge tool, helpful tool for us. Keep relaxing the body, keep observing the self, keep seeing, recognizing when that fear comes up, just allow it and be okay with it, but see it for what it is, and see that fear, that the moment that you decide to let it go, that fear isn't real. It can't really hurt you unless you allow it. So what if you allow the fear, if you look at the fear, if you ask what it's trying to teach you, and then you let it go and ask that maybe it move aside so that you can step into your clarity. You can create that space that was held by the fear that's now clear. And with that freedom, you're magnetizing and you're calling in any dream that you can imagine. That's how the dream life comes in. And so we're going to work a little more with fear over these next coming weeks as well, because I'm playing around with an idea for the Friday Morning Freestyle for the next several weeks coming up here, about tackling the idea of fear and the 7 dragons. And the 7 dragons are forms of fear, and they are, this is an idea and concept that was created by my teacher, who I've mentioned before, a wonderful man, Dr. Jose Stevens from The Power Path, thepowerpath.com. If you want to check them out a little bit, he's got some articles on there that you can read, some audio that you can listen to. His wife, Lena, is his partner and also another wonderful teacher, and his daughter, Anna, is a wonderful teacher as well. They're teachers, they're singers, and so there's a lot of great content on there. They also have some music available, some ceremonial music that's just wonderful. But he talks about these 7 dragons, and he's kind of identified kind of the 7 main obstacles that are kind of our 7 main fears that we face in this life. And he actually wrote a full book about it called Transforming Your Dragons, from Dr. Jose Stevens, my teacher. And so we're going to explore these dragons, these fears, in these next few classes over the coming weeks as we work on weeding out these fears, with the idea that once we can weed out these fears, we have to first identify them, and then we, by self-observation, we recognize how they might be manifesting in ourselves, and by that, that's how we can let them go. And if we dedicate some time to that, he says that if you dedicate a solid year of working with these 7 dragons and weeding them out in your life and letting them go, you can completely transform your life in that short of a time. So we'll be talking about that in the coming weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. It's by releasing these dragons, these obstacles, that we are able to come to a place of neutrality. And we'll talk more about that next week as well, about neutrality, because neutrality is the place where you kind of surrender, trying to control, you surrender, trying to judge, you surrender the concept of good, bad, happy, sad, you know, all of it, all the duality, and you come to a place of neutrality where you stand in the center, in a neutral space, in the don't know mind. And there, you allow the release of the fear, and you allow your life to transform, and you allow those dreams to manifest. All those seeds that you planted, release that fear, make that space, and they're going to bloom. So I'll leave you with that for today. I thank you so much for joining me, and let's go ahead and just dial back into one another one more time. Let's close with a long Satnam together, rubbing the palms together at the center of the chest. Find that comfortable seat. Find that connection with the sitting bones, the roots to the earth. Press the palms together firmly. Bring the thumbs into the heart center. Take a deep breath in. Close the eyes. Roll them up. Inhale to Satnam. Satnam, I am truth. Truth is my essence. May you walk in the light of your truth. And may you release all of the obstacles, all of the fears, that you may create a beautiful, expansive space of freedom in which you can plant the seeds for all your dreams to come true. May you hold that space surrounded by trust and faith, and the belief that you are always supported, you are always taken care of, and you always will be. Remember, believe, you are infinite. Take a deep breath into the heart. As you exhale, fold forward at the waist, bring the palms, the forehead, and the heart down to the earth. And then release your breath as you release your prayer. And give thanks to Pachamama, Mother Earth, for her support. Inhale back up. Woo, I'll see you this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern for day 4 of the HUD for Prosperity 40-day meditation. Looking forward to that, and I'll be back again here for Friday Morning Freestyle next week, next Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Until then, Satnam, Aho, and Namaste.